Hello, all benders and non-benders, and today we have an interesting thing to talk about regarding Avatar Generations. If you've already seen the title of the video, we're going to be asking the question, is Avatar Generations dying? Now, what prompted this little discussion of mine after a bit of absence on my part? Well, about a day ago, this Reddit post popped up on the subreddit and caught my attention. As we all know, there has been nothing new for over a month now. We've just had several weeks of nothing ever since the, I will note, delayed release of Team Azula. And I'm just gonna hit some of the cliff notes of this particular Reddit post. Basically, it seems like there is a very high chance that the majority of the staff at Navigation Games was very recently laid off. If we kind of look here, we do have some posted notes. This first one here going forward is saying that we would get a new support team. Them saying that Momo, Nick, Pabu, and others will not be able to answer questions. Down here, we got a message from one of the developers saying that due to restructuring, they're looking for a new role and would appreciate support. Also, if we kind of take a look at this note here, we can see that several of the developers that we were very familiar with just straight up left the server. And then probably the real nail in this coffin here is on their LinkedIn accounts, which, you know it's bad when we're starting to dive into LinkedIn accounts. I mean, that's when you know we're at DEF CON 1. That's when you start digging into the LinkedIn accounts. A lot of the former navigation employees' profiles are now listed as looking for new jobs, including engineers, developers, artists, game designers, even some major public faces like Andrew. I mean, if we saw the live streams, we know Andrew. He's a cool guy. He's looking for a new job too. If we take a look at this little note here, as many people know, 10 days ago, a restructuring at my company meant that I lost my job. I was not the only one affected. 40 team members also have been affected. 40 team members affected? That's the wording that you have to use is affected. That's code for either fired or laid off. Let's be real here. And then looking at the profile on LinkedIn, which to be fair, LinkedIn could be outdated. It could be bigger than this. But LinkedIn has Navigation Games listed as 11 to 50 employees. Now, I got a degree in accounting, so I can count to 5 every now and then. 40 people laid off of a maximum 50 employee company. There ain't nobody left. That's not great. Yeah, they even mention here how if you wonder why Team Azula release was delayed a week and we haven't had an update on guilds or anything, this is why. I also did read somewhere else on Discord. Now keep in mind, I have done limited research into this, so don't take my word as gospel. Do your own research. But from what I have heard, apparently Andrew and a lot of the other people got laid off almost immediately after the Team Azula live stream. Which I thought it was so weird that it got delayed a week after that live stream. I was like, wow, that was some weird planning. That was a weird choice. No, I think what happened is they got laid off. Which, yeah, that would do it. That would delay a thing or two. So the developers so somebody came in with the banhammer and laid off 40 people, which in and of itself is just a tragedy because these were great guys who were really putting in a ton of work into the game and trying their hardest to make it fun and support it. So that on its own is a crying shame. I mean, their streams were some of the highlights of my day, man. It's a crying shame. But what does this mean for the game? The game's in trouble. Let's not beat around the bush here. We haven't had any content in over a month. Team Azula is getting stale in a hurry, and let's also not forget that Team Azula is one of the most popular things in the entire Avatar world, and they're already released, which means that they've peaked, in my opinion, unless they really release some cool stuff. So, where am I going with this? I am not optimistic. I would love to have hope, but I'm not optimistic. I would love to be proven wrong. I want this game to do well. I really, really enjoy this game, like quite a lot. But all the enjoyment in the world doesn't matter if there's just nothing to do. I mean, for the first time since the release of the game, there's not a single event quest going on right now. I mean, not even the filler ones that we've had the past couple weeks. There's just nothing. And they released Dojo Master as a rerun, the most outdated character in the game. I mean, talking about Dojo Master was like my third video on the channel 7 months ago. That's nothing. If a single soul summons on Dojo Master, well, why? just why? So, I wanted to talk about this and bring it to light to, first of all, just give my thoughts on it, and also to give a fair heads up to anybody who still regularly plays the game. I'm logging in just enough to check into my guilds, but I haven't even been playing the game, if I'm being totally honest. I mean, my arena I haven't even bothered. I've been getting carried by defenses because my Team Azula is admittedly quite good. So, that could be a problem. To those of you who spend money in the game, I advise caution. I advise a heavy amount of caution. Of course, it's up to you. If you're not too worried about it or you think the game's going to bounce back, it's your life, and more importantly, it's your credit card. But a word of caution, I would hate for people to lose their hard-earned cash on a game that might not exist by the end of the year. That's speculation. I do want to make all that very clear. This is all speculation and hearsay that I have heard on the grapevine of Discord and Reddit. But we can't deny that the lack of communication has been off-putting, to say the least. And I think I hear the death bells tolling in the distance, which breaks my heart. Because I want this game to succeed. I wanted this game to win so badly. I wanted it to go the distance, but it looks like it might not. I could give a lot of reasons why I think the game may or may not be failing. I'm going to save that for another video if we get some confirmed news. But for now, to give a little bit more info on the future of my channel, I don't know. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. Aside from one Genshin Impact video that's just fighting the good fight, my channel is 100% Avatar Generations. That's kind of the cornerstone. I mean, you take out the cornerstone, the building can't stand. We'll see. I haven't decided yet on that one. I do confess that if the game dies and took my channel down with it, a little bit of the timing would be fortuitous with some life stuff, because to give some good news, my wife and I are having a baby in the very near future. Due date's around December, so life is about to get very different for me. And while I absolutely want to still do YouTube, I'd be lying if I said this wouldn't free up some time to deal with this very important and very positive life event. We'll see, though. If this game bounces back, I'll be right there with it, all day, every day. I want the game to live. I want the game to succeed. But I have to be practical here. It's been a month. Radio silence. Not even. We got some teeny tiny bug fixes, like bare minimum bug fixes, and they can't even be bothered to give us event quests. Whoever is steering the ship over there, if anybody at all. So that is where we're at. I wanted to give this little update to keep all of you informed. Some people have been optimistic, saying that this is a good chance to build up resources. And yes, Team Azula tapped a lot of us out. I don't think this is what we should call a good thing, though, because the lifeblood of a mobile game is content, and we have been getting no content, which means that there is no lifeblood. There is no reason to spend money on the game. And, I mean, do the math. It just doesn't make sense. The game cannot possibly be succeeding that well. But I would be ecstatic to be proven wrong. I want this game to win. I want it to win real bad. But that's that. This is not going to be the end for me, at least. If the game does finally go 6 feet under, then I will at least talk about that. So you can at least promise one more video from me. And if the game bounces back, fantastic. Maybe there's just some restructuring behind the scenes. Maybe they'll get some new people working on it. I would love for the game to bounce back and be successful. But we shall see. Not a thing I can do about that, but wait and make predictions, and that is it. My predictions mean nothing. They are nothing short. They're nothing more than opinions and some light research based on circumstantial evidence. But we can also use some common sense to just look at this and be like, something weird's going on. But that is that. I just want to talk about it, give everybody kind of a heads up that maybe don't spend money on the game until we are certain that the game is going to last a month longer. We'll see. But that is all we have for today, and we shall see you next time. Have a good one.